2, and 1. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations. We got ourselves a special live episode coming at you this Saturday evening. And with me tonight is David Peace. How's it going over there, David?
Great. It's great to be here. It seems like we were talking about it just before we signed on here. That seems like it's been a long time since we've all been together like this. So very excited to be here tonight.
Yeah, and we do have ourselves a nice full panel of guests here, you know, who I probably share the same sentiment. Like you as well, Jonathan. You're coming at us from Kentucky. How have you been?
Very good. Enjoying this wonderful heat.
I could do with a little bit less of it as well. Although Nathan, I don't know, you're further up north than Jonathan and I, so maybe it's not as cold up there. How you doing up there in Minnesota?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Sorry,
we're still. It's like 85 here, and that's too hot for me. So I can't. The 100 degrees. No, I'm out. And sometimes lastly, there are advantages to living in the north.
Sometimes, yeah. One of them being File Fest, which is just a matter of weeks away at this point. So yeah, and I know, and I think that's why I said Minnesota earlier, because that's just what's been on my mind as the days are counting down closer to that event on September 8th through the 10th in Bloomington, Minnesota. So
excited to finally meet some of you guys in person. We've as weird as it is, like I feel like I know you, but we've never actually met each other. So.
Well, I think for me, I think I'm going to find myself thinking over and over is like, wow, you seem taller on camera or something to that effect. And last but not least, we've got 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 joining us over from France, who unfortunately won't be in attendance at File Fest, unfortunately, because that is a bit of a commute to get here, isn't it, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬?
Oh yeah, it is. And for 3 or 4 days, it's just too expensive. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to be there and meet you guys in person, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to be seeing it from afar.
Well, you can count on us to be broadcasting live from there as much as we possibly can while all that's going on. We do have a tournament to run, but we'll see if we can also allot a lot of that time to bring you guys some content who are unfortunately too far away to attend. But anyway, getting to tonight's proceedings, gentlemen, so I've got you all here, not because we're going to be playing a game of X-Files CCG. We're actually going to be unboxing another sealed expansion from back in '97. So it's crazy to think that there are still, packages of sealed cards out there that have yet to be opened, even after all this time. I know some of you, Nathan, Jonathan, you guys have some sealed cards in your possession as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I've got. I have 1 box of Premier, 2 boxes of 1013, and 2 of Truth.
Any plans to? Oh, go ahead, Jonathan. What do you have?
I've got a case of Premier and a case of 1013.
Beautiful.
Well, we know who has all the cards now.
I think I've got a starter deck box that I haven't opened of Premier also.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're so good.
I like Premier. It's just got that little, I don't know, extra hint of nostalgia about it. You guys feel that too?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I do like that they have you can have a good chance of figuring out which boosters have the ultra rares in them, so they got that going for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can cherry pick them.
Yeah.
People used to do that with Pokemon cards. The chase cards were foil with etched texture on them, and people would go to retail stores and take the boosters off the shelf, and they had a little mini scale, and they would put them on the scale and determine which ones weighed a half an ounce more than the rest of them.
Wow.
And so we started putting them in blister packs, and all the stores had to put them behind the glass.
If there is an edge, people will find it. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, people are smart.
Yeah.
So they were either dealing drugs or measuring the weight of Pokemon cards.
There's a science to cheating.
So Yeah, I think. Oh, and I also want to acknowledge we do have 2 viewers in attendance. Madeline, who I just posted her comment a moment ago. How's it going, Madeline? Good to see you this evening. And if anyone who's joining the stream live, feel free to post your comments, and you can ask us questions during the unboxing that I'll be doing for this pack of 1013. It has it's containing 36 booster packs, of which each contain 15 cards amongst them. And of the 36, there are is it 2 or 3 ultra rares in 1013? Can anyone confirm that? I feel like I've been hearing a different answer on that.
I always thought there were 2.
I've heard 2.
Yeah, 2 as well. I did open one 2 years ago, and there were 2 ultra rares in it.
Okay, I thought there was a recent episode, or maybe was it on Mike and Matt or somewhere where I thought someone said they had opened 3 and there were 3 in there at one time. Am I
Mike
that?
That had happened to Mike, or someone Mike knew, so he brought it up that someone had gotten 3, had found the unicorn and had gotten 3 in one box, but I don't think that's normal. That was quite a lucky person that got that.
So we're going to chalk that one up to a fluke then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, maybe that same fluke will shine through on this evening. But we're going to proceed under the assumption that there are only 2 of the 36 booster packs that are going to contain an ultra rare. For which the 5, for anyone who may not be aware, are as follows: the near-death experience event card, the Men in Black event card, the Unexpected Call event card, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed, also an event card, and last but not least, the Alien Stiletto equipment card. Gentlemen, I told you right before we were going to go live to throw out there which 2 ultra rares you think are going to be found in this box, if you had to guess. David Peace, why don't we start with you, my friend?
As you were reading them off, I felt Men in Black in there, and one of your personal favorites, Unexpected Call. I think it's going to be those 2 tonight.
Oh, of course you would think that. I had no doubt in my mind that was going to be one of your 2 choices, David. Jonathan, what about you?
I'm going with 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed and Men in Black. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed is my favorite of those ultra rares, and it seems like every 1013 pack I've ever opened that had an ultra rare and it had Men in Black, so I'm going to go with that one.
Sounds good. I'm kind of hoping I don't get a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed, only because out of the 5 ultra rares, I have the most of that card in quantity. But I am actually putting that down as one of my 2 that I think will come up here, just because because it's the one I don't necessarily need. That's the one that's going to show up in here.
Your box is already conspiring against you.
Oh yeah. Well, perhaps it's just like the fates, the X-Files CCG fates are like, you know what? You can stand to have one more. Nathan, which 2 do you think I'm going to pull in this box?
Yeah, like David, I'm going to go with Unexpected Call, just because that card vexes you. And my second pick is the Alien Stiletto.
Nice. That is my other one that I'm hoping will show up in here. And if I do get an extra Unexpected Call, maybe I'll send it to whoever amongst you actually gets these 2 guesses correctly.
Ooh, we're playing for something now.
Now there's some skin in the game. I like it.
Only if there's an Unexpected Call that shows up in there. Well, if there's a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed, I'll send it out too, because I really don't need another one. But I do hope I get another Men in Black and an Alien Stiletto. But I do think of the 2 that are going to show up in there, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed, and I'm going to go with the Alien Stiletto for the other one. And 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, you're the only one I haven't asked. What are your thoughts? Which 2 are going to be in this box?
Yeah, I wrote down 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed and Unexpected Call.
Nice.
And I have to say, what I really love about the 1013 box is that you do get that extra promo card when you have the sealed
That's right.
Oh, teamwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just making sure I wrote it down correctly. We've got David Peace is foreseeing Men in Black and Unexpected Call. Jonathan, you said 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Possessed and Men in Black. Nathan, you said Unexpected Call and Alien Stiletto. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, you said 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Unexpected Call.
Yeah.
And I said Krychek Possessed and Alien Stiletto. So no two are the same. So excellent. All right. Did I say everyone's guesses correctly on that?
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
ready.
And
Feeling
I,
All right. Very good. All right.
I've been
so I'm gonna go ahead and
derelict
get
in my
everything
duties
started.
of promoting this, so I'll throw up a Instagram post right now. See if
Oh,
we
yeah,
can get
thank
any
you very
more
much.
live viewers.
Yeah, I was a bit sluggish on the promoting. So thank you for doing that. So how do I get the screen? There we go. But it's the wrong camera.
Ooh, there it is.
There we go. All right.
This is
So-
101361, right? The expansion.
101361. For
Nice.
those of you avid X-File fans would know, pertains to what? What does that 6-digit code refer to? Who wants to take a
Mulder's
crack at that?
birthday.
Mulder's birthday, indeed.
I was going to say, throw that question to Madeline. Let's see if you've been mentoring her in the
I have not yet at
X-Files.
this point gotten her to watch the X-Files show. There's a lot of episodes in there, but I'll leave that decision to her to decide it. If at some point she feels like she wants to give that show a crack. There's a lot of good content on TV.
Nothing like the X-Files.
She's only in it for the cats.
There's a 100% chance of cats tonight. We've already had cholera show up.
Yeah.
Yep, that's just one of many possible felines that may grace us with their presence tonight.
Maybe my
orange
dog will
one-
show up
okay.
too.
What's that?
Maybe my
Maybe a
dog will
dog
show
too,
up
yes.
too.
My orange cat has not yet made his presence known yet, but we've just gotten started, so it wouldn't surprise me. And David's I know you don't have your bird's eye camera set up, but it would not surprise me if Persephone should still find a way to do a photo bomb, or I guess just to say a live stream bomb on your end.
But hopefully she won't give us the same cameo that she did with the last appearance. But she's up on the kitchen counter across from me and giving me the stink eye. She's very hungry, so I'm expecting it's only a matter of time before she comes over here and lets me know. Oh, and we're underway.
Oh, go ahead and keep talking. I'm not going to announce every card as I'm pulling.
I think you should. You should call out every name.
Let's make this a 5-hour live stream, a marathon.
And with such a small set, there will be so much repetition that everyone will be asleep. By the time we
right.
get to 6 packs.
So Alien Investigations can be the cure for your insomnia.
So Steven,
So-
except for Detective Manos, which card is your favorite card from 1013?
From 1013, and that's a great question, 𝐗. I really do appreciate you asking. Aside from Detective Manners, because yes, you are correct to assume that is my favorite 1013 card. Is the one I use most. Obviously from the 1013 set. Runner up. And I'm gonna have to probably I've never thought about like what would be what I would choose beyond that, but I'm trying to think for various reasons what might be the other most appealing ones on there. The Alien Stiletto is probably the one you probably see second most, perhaps, but you guys often do, you include that card just for CP fodder. So I like the card for its reliability in the terms of helping to keep my conspiracy pool replenished. I am especially fond of the mailman bluff card because invariably I have a few agents on my team who do have a token that can very much come in handy should it get replenished as a result of the mailman card. So got a soft spot for that. I do like the video trap as well because that is but especially if that card comes up early in the game. Of course, if I were Mike Perrine, my answer would undeniably be Kresge. But then again, I think he's also torn with the prospect of no one believes he's a very nice card as well. But I think he would also have to say 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 as well as his favorite. But anyway, I think in terms of having the best impact on the game, I would say the mailman. If I could get one of the two to come up in the course of my deck. What about you?
If that's out to the whole floor there, I would say mailman.
Mailman?
Yeah, it's invaluable whether whether you've got manners or hosting in your team or something like that. It's great to have another chance to use it.
For me, it's Joseph Patnick.
Joseph Patnick.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Nice call. What about you, Nathan?
I hate to do it, but it's unexpected call.
Of course.
It's
just so. I mean, the
You too,
card is
Jonathan?
just so broken.
That's mine too.
Yeah,
Right on.
That card's great just because you make people so mad with it.
it really, yeah, and it can really just throw the game into complete.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a little behind, unexpected call can turn your fortunes around pretty quickly. If your opponent has a big resource pool, so I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's a mailman right here.
There we
That's
go.
A very nice one that's a very nice one to pull. It is a rare, if I'm not mistaken. Does anyone have the rarity by chance pulled up? Because I got to admit, I'm a little bit more well versed in the rarity for the. Oh, it is a rare Guillaume?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I think.
Go ahead.
Do you only get one rare per pack in these?
That is
Or
a
is it
great
two?
question. My understanding is there's at least one. Go
I
ahead,
think
David.
we need one.
I think it's one too, based on what I'm seeing out of these
Yeah,
packs.
and I remember when I opened my full booster box, I did not get a mailman, for instance. There were several rare cards that I did not get and had to
these
buy.
are all commons.
Oh,
Tong
there you
is
go.
going to be a rare.
There's your rare.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
And these are all
I think I know
commons
it when
again.
I see it, but I just don't. It's not quick to. It's not quick to occur to me that that's the ultra rare. Is Skinner's Wedding Ring or not ultra rare? A rare. Is Skinner's Wedding Ring the rare?
I believe that's uncommon.
No, I think that's no. I have plenty of.
I think. Right.
Hold on.
And for those of you who don't know, that is my orange cat Seamus, who's trying
Yes,
to
that's
interrupt.
the rare one. Yeah.
Ivanov is a rare.
Yes, it's the rare.
Okay, so trying to go through the ones I already opened to figure. This is not happening. Is a rare, right?
No.
No?
There were already two of that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did get two of them. Yeah, no one believes you. That's what it was.
Yes, that's the rare one.
And from
Okay.
the packs you've opened so far, I think we need to have another competition to see how many Detective Kleins you get. Did you already get like 3 of them?
Klein or Havez?
The one that partnered
Oh, yeah,
that
there's
one.
Klein. Yeah, I thought I got more. I thought I drew more. Yeah, there's one Detective Havez. I think the most common witness that I have pulled, and I'd have to double check my spreadsheet, but I think I have close to 30 of 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, the witness from the episode The List. I would have to double check that to be sure, but I think that is the one for which I have the most in possession. So it seems to me it's the most common pull, but it's almost like I've come to equate it as the buyers of the Premier and Truth is Out There cards. Is Work a Deal a rare?
I believe that's uncommon as well.
Uncommon? Yeah. Okay. And the Mailman, of course, yeah.
I think I've got you beat. I think I've got about 100 of the Coast Guard Lieutenant.
For real?
Yeah. For a while, I've just kind of been stockpiling them because with the expansions, I plan to sticker over existing cards. Just give them a new facelift with the cards we create. So I figure those are good ones to just paste over. Ruin some cards.
I mean, if you have double-digit copies in possession, I mean, why
Triple
not?
digit even.
Triple digit, yeah.
Wow, that's almost an entire season 5 set for playtesting.
Yeah, I did some damage on 1013 boxes back in the day, for sure.
All right, so what other ultra rares did I pull? I was gonna set those aside. or not ultra rares. I'm sorry. What rares did I pull? Ivanov.
Yep.
That was another one. And I've opened up 5, so there's one more. Help me out.
Captive hybrid's uncommon.
It's not flesh.
That could be it.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
That's
go.
it?
Flesh sculpting.
Yeah, is that right?
Yes, that's right. It's a rare one.
Okay, so those are the 5 rares that have come up thus far.
Heavy on bluffs.
Yeah, no joke. And actually, speaking of bluffs, I am mistaken. So I thought I had the most copies of the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 witness card. I'm correct. I'm incorrect on that. I have the most copies of Stoner Chicken Dude, with 14 copies of it currently, but to be increased once I eventually open up all of these. But yeah, that's quite a few too many. But actually, I did play that card just recently in a game with Mike. Or no, Mike played it against me in the episode that I'm currently editing right now. And 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 will know that because I did ask him for the clip of that scene.
Indeed.
Now, is the rare card the one that's like going to be facing the other way? Is that?
Yes,
I believe so.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Because I was noticing there was one upside down, but I was like, oh, that's not an ultra rare, so I kept going right past it. And if anyone needs, go ahead, Nathan.
I was going to say, I wonder if the ultra rare is going to be upside down in those packs too.
Okay, we'll have to
Find
watch
out.
out for that when it comes.
Yeah,
I believe it is, and just replaces the rare.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jonathan.
Oh, Video Trap. That's one of your favorites.
That is one of my
a good
favorites. But
card.
like I said, it's better when it comes up early. There's Mike's favorite card right there.
No,
Banners.
There we go.
Banners.
Hello, old friend.
That's a good
Yes.
pack.
Every Detective Manners I pull, I'm going to be bringing with me to File Fest. in
Two
hopes
wedding
of getting-
rings? Two wedding rings in one pack?
In one
Oh,
pack.
wedding ring.
Jeez.
Wait, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. That doesn't happen. I have to wonder. I'll have to note if if duplicates in the same pack comes up often. I would have to say that's no.
Yeah, you did have 2 of the same cards in the previous pack.
So what's the rare in this one? It's not one of the
Upside down
sites.
one was
List.
the list.
The
There it
list.
is.
The list.
List. Thank you. Yes, that's right. Ooh,
Great
wedding
card
ring.
too. I like that one. And it's never I feel like it just takes it's kind of dirtily, right? Because you play it and then you got to wait a turn and hopefully they use the agent to investigate a site. I don't know. It feels better in concept than it has when I've played it.
Another Detective Manners. And another Detective Manners.
Wow.
Wow.
Good Lord. Oh, and Clyde Brookman.
Oh,
There we
That is
go.
a
Oh, nice.
one right
Yeah.
there. Very nice rare agent card right there. I do not have a whole lot of those.
Someone is watching this with no idea what these cards are, and we're all like, "Oh, yes, very good."
They're sitting home, nerds.
yeah,
They're
exactly.
like, it's some old dude I've never even seen on the show. What are you all talking about?
Oh, the great Peter Boyle. I mean, he did get an Emmy nod for that one.
Did he really? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he
deserved
won.
it.
He didn't win. Did he win? I know he got a nomination. I don't think he won though. That episode did win an Emmy for something. I don't think it was for that though. Someone can fact check me on that. And I know it's crazy that I don't know
he did
that.
win the Emmy for writing, I think.
The writing, Darren Morgan got. Yeah, that's right. Of course. Oh, and 2 John Mostows in the same pack as well. So
Get that
fancy that.
insanity
And we
keyword
have our
popping.
first ultra
there we
rare.
Oh,
A near-death experience. So actually, we are all incorrect on
knocked
this
out.
because not one of us
None of us
predicted that would be the card. Yep, we all neglected to include that one in our guesses. So, yep, that's one of the ultra rares for this box. It came up
Which is
fairly
pretty
early.
incredible with only 5 ultra rares and 4 people guessing that we
Yeah. Shot down early.
whiffed
Yeah.
like that.
I figured the odds are that one of us would be correct. I was dead set on that being a thing, but no. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, favorite adversary right there, my friend.
And Peter Boyle
Yeah,
did
well,
win the
this
Emmy for
witness.
that part.
What's that?
And said Peter Boyle did win the Emmy for that part.
He did
Oh,
win the
nice.
Emmy.
Good.
Okay, thank you so much for checking that. Yes, I was gonna say it's everyone's favorite witness, but not because of her effect, right?
Whatever do you mean?
It's because of
Whatever
the name.
indeed.
Just a
That's
little
Mulder.
name.
He'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so one ultra rare is down. One ultra rare has been claimed, and so we'll see if an unexpected calls is going to rear its head at me. Could be. Wonder if they're set. If the ultra rares are set in this. I didn't see which quadrant of the box I pulled that pack from, so I don't know if they'd be like right on top of each other, because I've seen some unboxings where the ultra rare comes up in quick succession, because I think they were just set in the box right on top of one another. And here's the rare for this
Another
pack, which
favorite of
is
mine.
yes, and he'll be at File Fest. So hopefully I'll get at least
Set that
one
one aside
signed
too,
Pendrell
yeah.
card.
So far,
Actually,
you
I do
got
have a Pendrell
some nice
card.
packs.
Yeah, I do actually have a signed Pendrell, but he signed the back side of it, so I need to get the front side of the card signed.
Oh,
Double
so
sign.
disrespectful.
No, yeah, I know, right? It's a shame they don't have Mr. David Lewis going to File Fest, because yeah, a whole bunch of Kreskys would be getting signed.
That's a great picture, veracity in
Which one?
question.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah.
From my favorite of the season finales of X-Files for season 3, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Takumi. And here's our rare for this pack, which is the Red Haired Man. First one of those to show up tonight. I wonder how many I wonder if these rares, like how many of each copy am I going to get in one booster pack, or one booster box, that is.
Not too many. I think you're probably going to get one of each. Maybe
One of each, you think?
yeah, or maybe two of maybe a couple of them, but I did not get a lot of duplicates for the rare ones.
Okay. Yeah, this will be interesting to just note some of the quantities, and especially since we've already seen a few instances where there's been duplicate cards showing up in the same pack, which again was not something I expected.
And, going back on 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 Takumi, I have to say that to me it was the letdown of an otherwise amazing season, especially the cliffhanger. I felt like it was kind of weak.
I really I thought the tense it had some stakes to it, not as high as some of the other surrounding episodes, but I did like where it left off. It was just an especially gripping moment where you're seeing Mulder come, being faced with a familiar foe, and then the prospect of saving his mother at the time, which I don't know. I think when I was watching it as a 12-year-old boy, I was like, oh no, his mom can't die. So I think I just found that episode especially gripping. But unfortunately, I thought the season 4 premiere was a bit underwhelming, and so for me, it's like that's where I think that a great finale is marred by a not so great resolution to it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weak opening episode.
Not if you're a fan of the Invaders, for a show for whom which starred the a terrific Roy Finnis. So it was really cool seeing him show up in the series, which again was kind of one of those shows that there was certainly some X-Files was certainly influenced by. And here is our first Agent Bill Patterson for the night.
All the agents here.
Yes, we have seen all of the agents, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we got Clyde Brookman and Patterson have shown up. So, yeah, they're all accounted for. So far, still only 3 manners is?
Only 3?
Yeah.
This box is done.
2 from 1 pack, no less. Do we have any favorite uncommons from 10-13?
Oh, gosh, I don't know them enough to...
Yeah, don't ask me
another
first.
Manners.
There's another Manners.
Men in Black.
There we go.
Our second ultra rare, so I'm very much happy that one came up.
That was one you needed a copy of, right?
Yeah, I had 2 copies, and so this will make a third. Because as I mentioned off camera, I'm trying to amass 3 complete sets, and so this one it puts me one step closer to that. So I do need to get me a 3rd Alien Stiletto, which would be great because I can have for using in the using as CP for my games. I tend to not want to pull from the binder if I can help it. All right, so our ultra rares have been ascertained fairly early. There's still quite a few packs still remaining. So I don't know, Guillaume, if you've been keeping track. Are there any rare? Do you happen to know which rares we have yet to spot?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly.
That's all right.
Yeah,
White Buffalo is one.
White Buffalo,
Ceremony.
and as is 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 from Outer Space. Now that one, when you were asking me earlier, what is some of my favorite 1013 cards, that would be another one of them. Again, it's great if it comes up early enough in the game.
We haven't seen Foo Fighter yet.
We have not. That's one I often confuse as being an ultra rare. And no one has actually played that card in their game. Of the people in this stream, no one has played that card, if I'm correct, right?
I've always wanted to, and maybe I should make one of my goals to build some decks with just janky cards that no one
Another manners
ever
for you.
plays
Plenty of autographs.
Yep, that is 5 detective manners so far. I should just start spreading them all out so you guys can just see my boy just spread out across this camera. I know you guys just love seeing him come up. And is this a rare?
Yes, it's a rare one.
Yep, this is my rare.
And actually, if I'm not mistaken, there are 40 rare cards in this expansion.
Okay. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I did not think. Yeah, Oswald being a rare, that's one of them I forgot about. Jonathan, I do want to point out you played a card in our last game that is actually the first time I've ever seen that card get played in a game, and that was the ceremony card from 1013. As you recall, that was a very nice play because it came up at a point when didn't you actually get to use it to bring back one of your agents from the hospital? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes. And it actually more than one. It affected multiple agents. It doesn't bring them all back at the same time, but yeah, it was a very useful card. And I actually didn't. I was looking at the card and I was like, oh, that's an interesting effect, but I hadn't really considered how it might actually work in the game. I actually put it in there mostly for CP, but it presented itself at the perfect moment, and it worked well. It probably kept that game going quite a bit longer than it would have otherwise.
Yeah, I think I was watching that game. I was in the background or something. I remember that was a master play there.
Yeah, as Jonathan said, go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say, as Jonathan said, it's not a card that we usually put into play. If it appears in a deck, it most invariably winds up getting sold for CP. Nathan, what were you about to say?
I treat Ceremony and the card you just pulled, White Buffalo, as sort of nice healing cards depending on the deck. So I have played them both, but I think I might have played White Buffalo like once. Otherwise, I'm just pitching them for CP, really. So they're more like break glass in case of emergency cards than they are like staples of my decks or anything like that.
Yeah, White Buffalo would be one to undo, like, say, a sinus cavity implant that had been cast upon your agents. That's helpful. And Owen Jarvis. There's another rare witness right there.
I really like
I'm a big fan of Hell Money, I want to point out. That's a nice card you can include in your deck as potential for CP fodder, but also when you do get hit with a card for which phenomena is the keyword, most notably Joseph Patnick, who's a very difficult adversary to negate, especially if you don't have any Hell Money cards included in your deck. I usually have 2 of those in my decks just in the event that ruthless adversary gets thrown at me.
But then somehow, even if you have manus and I played Joseph Patnick, you somehow manage to get X or some other card to get it.
That's the part about building a very useful deck where you try to include all the cards that for which they have a great benefit for making the difference in a round. Try not to, I think we've used the term junk cards, right? I try to avoid using those as much as possible in my game. Minimum, maybe just a couple of cards that I haven't used before, just because we like to shake things up in the game and try out cards that haven't really been used very frequently.
I do like that they have the Margie and Terry cards. I thought that was a nice game mechanic that they had not used before.
Yeah, I agree. And they can be just so devastating. As we've seen.
Oh, whoa!
Nice!
We have actually
Oh,
three ultra rares
number
in this
three.
tonight.
Uh-oh.
Wow! And actually, the other one that I needed. So now I have 3 copies of each of the ultra rares. Oh, and actually, you can't even see them. So sorry, I thought they were visible.
Wow.
Yes, we have 3. Count them, 3 ultra rares in this box. So that does address a point we did talk about at the start of this, whether there's 2 or whether there's 3. But it doesn't seem to be a consistent. A consistent thing as it appears, right, gentlemen?
I wonder if.
Well, I don't know. We got to open some more boxes now.
No kidding. Yeah, I mean, is it possible there could be more than 3? That would certainly be a lucky purchase, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
One of each.
Did you buy this box recently, Steven?
It was, oh gosh, I think it was in April, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I have to go back and check, but yeah, I won it. I won it on a bid on eBay. Oh, another manners. Along with, I don't know if you can see him from. Well, you can't because I'm zoomed too far out. A box of X-Files Topps Master Vision Premier Edition cards. And along with another box of Premier Booster Packs. So it was 3 sealed boxes, and it was a bid, I think somewhere around $80, I think. I have to look, but it was like for 3 sealed boxes of cards, that's not too bad.
I think
so. Yeah, this is the first
that's
that
what
I've
I
opened.
paid. That is what I paid for my 10-13 box. So.
These cards are not as cheap as they used to be back when they were first around.
No, we're probably all bidding against each other when they come up.
It has. I know for a fact that has happened. I think Steven and I have bid against each other on a few of them.
We have, yes, we have. And Lottie Holloway is a rare, isn't it? Huh.
Yes.
All right. And 2 dried frogs came up in this pack as well.
That's a nice one to have.
It is. I like to especially assign that one to an agent who has 3 health, so that should they get sent to the hospital, then they'll get out a round earlier.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
Yes, especially like Burke or Hosteen. If they get sent, then yeah, it'd be nice to get them out a round earlier because they are usually contributing to skill checks, whether it be occult investigation or computer. And here is another rare witness: is Agent Dan Kazanjian. Almost very brief role in that episode, to the point that most of us probably don't even remember that one scene. But it's interesting to note that he has 3 that he can add to a team's computer skill, which makes him notably superior to Byers.
Once again, it's turned into a trash on Byers stream.
Isn't everyone stronger than Bayer?
It always seems to devolve to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. We would be remiss if we didn't mention how bad Byers is.
Another Detective Manners, and I think that's about 8 Manners have shown up.
Well, 8 Manners at $40 a piece. You are going to bankrupt yourself.
Yeah, probably.
Autographed.
Was anybody bidding on a 2nd edition starter deck on eBay?
Starter deck? No.
Or let's see. No, not starter deck. They've got it listed as starter decks, but it's not.
Is it a booster pack?
It is. It's a booster box.
Okay.
Is that the $84 one or whatever?
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I got 2 already. And what do I really need 3 for?
Listen to us. No, I've already got 2 of those.
Yeah.
I just
save
said
some
whatever.
for the rest of the world, right? This is a nice episode. The Bluff of You're a Dead Man. I don't really use the card too much, but I especially like the episode.
Did you buy that box, Jonathan?
Yes, I did.
Very nice.
Somebody else was bidding for it though. It ended up going for $91.
That's still, I think, probably a little bit of a discount from where I usually see them go. Aren't they around like 100?
Yeah, 2nd
Ceremony.
edition. There it is. Yeah. ceremony. There it is. Second editions are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a booster box of second edition for less than $100. I think I've seen one sitting around there. I think for $120 for a while. I think that one's been sitting there for ages.
I think the only reason this one didn't sell for more is because they have it listed wrong. I actually looked at the picture and looked at it. It's a booster box, but it says factory sealed starter deck box is what the listing says. So they've listed it wrong.
Two Skinner Ravine showed up in this one.
I've seen second edition listed as Premier too. That's a common mistake.
You have to look at the color of the box. People just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Eliminating the Source is the rare for this one.
That's a fun card. That can really stymie investigations. Limits them to evidence collection and criminal investigation, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it limits the
For 2 turns or something like that.
Yeah, it eliminates it for basically the entire the opponent, which thus includes the entire team. Because I was just thinking about how is that different from that Scully set agent card menial assignments, but that one limits just one agent on the team from investigating criminal investigation or evidence collection cards, but this one prevents the opponent and their ergo his entire team from investigating anything but those two particular site prerequisites.
It's like thematically appropriate too, because you cut off the source of information and they're stuck investigating using conventional means, criminal investigation, evidence collection. No occult, no alien. You got to do good old-fashioned police work.
So setting aside the I was going to say, if you set aside the near-death experience, ultra rare, and you just look at these two, is anyone correct? Men in Black was said by David, Jonathan. But none of you guys said Stiletto. I was wondering if someone was correct, but nope. We still managed to wind up being all wrong, even with a third URL thrown in there.
No, what did I say? I think I had Stiletto, didn't I?
I had you down for Stiletto and unexpected call. Yeah.
Well, if you look at it this way, like I did say the two that you did not pull, so in a way I did win. Yeah, that's true.
You were so wrong that you almost feel right.
The crystal
Price
ball
is
was
Right
just
rules.
entirely off.
You were as wrong as possible. That's that's good.
All right.
Oh, I did see David's favorite card, Simon Gates.
Oh yeah, he's shown up a couple of times, I believe. That's your favorite adversary, David?
Well, you usually play him.
Do I? Not intentionally.
Oh, someone's on eBay. I heard that. Someowe's on eBay right now.
I'm always on eBay.
Beautiful.
This is a card I'd like to discuss, guys, especially since we're all in the process of creating cards for fan-made expansions. This particular card, if I am not mistaken, and I would love it if someone can find an instance in where this card being played would actually benefit. But for those of you who need a reminder of Disbelief, which is from the great episode War of the Coprophages, you play this card on an agent with the keyword skeptic, all right? And that prevents the agent from contributing their skills at any occult investigation or alien investigation site. Keyword skeptic agent. So if you were to look at all just the commercially released agents for whom they have either that are skeptic, of which
I think except for Scully, who has occult investigation, otherwise none of the other skeptic agents have either alien or occult.
I was going to say, usually if you're using skeptical agents, they're not going to have high skill levels in any of that. So
yeah.
Isn't there
right.
a
So
card
that's
that
the question is, and Scully doesn't even have alien investigation skills.
No.
So at best, this card could prevent her from contributing her one occult investigation skill, or does she have two?
Just one.
Yeah, her one occult investigation skill to a site, which I don't know. Just seems to me
Isn't
Go ahead,
there a
David.
card that switches Mulder from believer to skeptic?
I think the only
in
in
the
the
promo,
season
no?
set.
What was that, Guillaume?
Isn't there one in the season 4 set that?
Yes, in season 4, but I was just looking at just
Yeah, I know,
commercially
but-
released cards
no.
alone.
Does
I'm
near
trying
death
to understand the thought process with this card.
I think this belief, maybe the good thing about this belief is, for instance, if you're investigating occult investigation site and you have a Hostin or Chuck Burke on your team, you're probably going to have another agent just to back them up. And so maybe that agent will have the keyword skeptic, and they will not be able to protect the team during a fight, for instance.
That's true, because it's not just, well, okay, so it would prevent them from contributing their skills at any keyword occult investigation or alien investigation site. So if combat should occur in the course of investigating that site, they wouldn't thus be able to contribute, right?
Yeah, correct. That's
Yeah.
the way I interpret it anyway.
Well,
could
I guess it. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
I just did, for instance, if you say you had 2 teams investigating 2 sites, so you were just hitting the bare minimum to make whatever skill checks you needed to, knocking off 1 on Scully could be enough to, keep that site from being investigated. So,
Yeah.
and it's a cheap card to play. So,
Well, and I guess another way to look at it would be like, let's say it's a multi-site, for which, let's say, let's go with Aleister Crowley High School, Milford Haven, Massachusetts, or New Hampshire, from Dehan D. Roulettes. That's occult investigation and observation. So what if the team was going to use their observation skills for that site? Would this card work in that case?
Yes.
Yeah,
It would,
it's
right?
all their skills for somebody who doesn't. So
I think it would also work for Farmington, for instance. You have computer and then investigation.
Correct. But it'd have to be a skeptic agent, though.
Yes.
So yeah, it's not like it would be able to prevent Hostin from contributing to that one, for instance, or Mulder.
Or maybe if you are playing that site and using computer as prerequisite.
Yes, correct. Which would be Nancy Spiller, right? She's skeptic, right? And I know she has computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other skeptics. These skeptics are Skinner. Colton's a skeptic, right?
You get you get Agent Rich, Spiller, you get Skinner, Colton, Reggie Perdue, and that's it.
And there's no skeptics in 1013. Everyone's a believer, if I'm not mistaken, or just they don't lean one way or the other.
So basically, for the commercially released card, that card works for 6 agents. So is that a good card or not? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for 1 CP, there's that aspect of it, but it seems to me like you're not going to know what agents your opponent's bringing in to the team from the onset. So knowing whether or not I'm going to have Gen Con Scully on that particular game, or probably just using Mulder, hard to tell. So yeah,
way to slip that Gen Con in there.
Well, I was going to say as an example of the skeptic that I most commonly use, and it would be that one.
Yeah, I think Scully is probably the most. Is Pendrell a skeptic?
He is not, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he is.
Pendrell, no, he's not.
No, okay.
Yeah, there's no skeptics in 1013. So yeah,
that's
Nancy Spiller is probably the skeptic that I use probably second most, next to Scully. Oh, another Ivanov. So that is the second rare Ivanov to come up in this.
Buddha duplicates.
I'm down to 2 packs at this point. So yeah, so disbelief is an interesting card. So I'm glad we have that particular discussion, because
I think
I was questioning
it would be useful if you could permanently change or add the keyword skeptic to an agent. But could you do that with the cigarette smoking man strikes? Because it does say on a card played by your opponent. So the agents aren't technically played since they are there at the beginning of the game. You do not play them from your hand. So could you use the cigarette smoking man strike to change one of the keywords on the agent cards?
I believe so, because you have to read it's a card played by your opponent, right?
Yes, and the effect,
says, yeah. So yeah, I guess that we'd have to. That would be a no if it's something that was played by the opponent. If it was just change any keyword card, then yeah, then it'd be great. So I got another You're a Dead Man. So that's the second You're a Dead Man rare to come up with 1 pack remaining. I think that's the first thing. Oh, go ahead.
If you get 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and Terry in the same pack together, the rest of the box just bursts into flames.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like then I was gonna say I think I'm in trouble at that point. Then you'll start hearing the Keystone Cops like start playing
Nice
on the TV. Well, it'd show up on Jonathan's TV, I suppose. And then all our guns start firing off at once. And here's our last. We're down to our last pack.
Let's go ultra rare. Let's go number 4.
I know, 4th ultra rare. Come on, that would be awesome. But I'm pretty sure it's not to be. For it is Lucy Householder.
Oh, she's good too.
Yeah,
especially preview of coming attractions. Maybe some abduction centric cards planned for the future.
Yeah, because really, if you think about it, it's not too many. Okay, so. Remove adds 2 to the team's observation or adds 1 to the team's evidence collection skill, or play this card when your opponent is about to remove 1 of your cards from the game. Remove this card instead. Which, in what instance have you had an RP card get removed from the game by your opponent, for which you would want to have this card's effect
removed from the game?
By your opponent, so that would obviously not include Deep Throat.
I think it would work maybe for Clyde Brockman's effect.
If your opponent was using Clyde Brookman while the conspiracy player.
Oh, right.
Doesn't 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 remove a card from the game?
Is it treats an abduction card? I thought it was treated as an abduction card. Am I wrong on that? No?
Off the top of my head, I don't recall.
I believe it's treated as an abduction, which doesn't mean removed from the game.
For some reason, I thought it actually said removed from the game, though. I don't know. Let's
find out.
Track this one. Oh, I got it right here.
𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
Play this card on 1 agent in the investigating team. Remove the agent from play.
From play.
And
okay.
place this card, so that might be different.
Yeah, that's one of those splitting hairs kind of situation right there. So again, I guess that does beg the question of where does Lucy Householder's secondary effect would actually benefit a game with only commercially released cards in play?
Doesn't her effect say that she's abducted instead or something like that, though?
No, that would be like Max Fennig.
That's what it was. Okay.
So that would be, an abduction card, and I believe 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 has the keyword abduction on it. So that would work. But Lucy Householder says her alternate effect is, or play this card when your opponent is about to remove 1 of your cards from the game. Remove this card instead.
I mean, it could be a killer game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Killer game. That's true. Yeah, because when you do kill, okay, yep. So, yeah,
it could also work assassinated, because it does say the witness card is negated and removed from the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amidst all that other confusing text on that card. So, good call, Guillaume. Good call. All right. So she does. So her secondary effect does have some precedent for where it could be played with just commercially released cards, but it does seem to me that it would be unlikely, especially if you're not playing a killer game.
Yeah, I think I have probably mistakenly put her in decks before under the assumption that she thwarted an abduction, but maybe not.
And so
I guess
it helps to read the cards you put in your decks, I guess, is the
that's the real trick.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it does go to show that Lucy Householder, because we have been known to play killer cards in some of our games, or we've been known to include killer cards in our games. So I think next time I'm actually squaring off with one of you gentlemen in a killer card game, I think I'll probably go ahead and include a couple of these, because she also costs 4. So, if nothing else, you can sell her for CP in the conspiracy round.
Yeah, true.
And of course, this also comes with the last component of this now unsealed box is the stack of checklists, for which, I've just been amassing a huge brick of those, for which is not getting any smaller considering I have laminated cards that I use. So anyway, gentlemen, final thoughts on the cards that came up in here. So we did have a surprise inclusion of a third ultra rare, which certainly, Jonathan, you said you have a box of 1013, so this will certainly be something for us to keep an eye on when you decide you want to crack open that one.
Yeah, I've got 6 of them, so we could definitely.
Of 1013? You have 6?
I got a case of 1013 and a case of Premier.
Wow.
And yes, I have lots of extra copies of commons and uncommons, and to extent I have quite a few rares as well. So if anyone is needing any of these to complete their set, you can reach out to me, and I can send some your way for the cost of a postage stamp. Gentlemen, what other thoughts do we have? Do we want to talk about what's coming up in the next week or so? Who's playing next week, perhaps?
Oh, and Steven, before we do that, I have one last card that Lucy Householder could be used for, and that's one we never use. It's False Leads from the treaties up there.
Yeah, so that one's pretty expensive.
Yeah, but that's another one where you are forced to remove a card from your game.
I don't recall what that one does.
Card?
So it's it's an event, and it's play this card whenever the investigating player has played a card that allows him to search through his deck and add a card to his hand. As soon as he shows you the card, play this card. The card he added is removed from the game along with this card.
Sure.
Dirty.
Okay.
Dirty play.
So that would be a card you could play to offset a card that I pulled as a result of Manners' effect, huh?
Well, it does cost 8 CP, so
yeah. So how much is that worth to you to prevent me from negating an adversary that Manners had brought forth, with a witness that Manners had brought forth?
Does that make it qualify as a dick card? Because if you're paying 8 CP, you really want to humiliate your opponent.
Yeah.
Then you only have to play 4 to knock it out, to keep it from happening.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I would say the joke's on the person who pays 8 CP to play that card.
8 CP makes me wonder if they play tested this at all.
Yeah, I think you know the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does seem grossly over costs. Right. Especially when you compare every card to Deep Throat, and you just think like, really? For that effect?
Yeah.
I love that card. I wish I could
that being a CP card game, that would only be able to offset a card like that the investigating player would play. So aside from Manners, that would include like One Breath, because that's a purple card potentially.
It does knock off all those agents.
Because Grid Pattern Search is discard pile, so that card wouldn't work for that, correct?
Well, it does say to search his deck. Yes, no. And it would not work for Agent Game Token either, because it does say...
it wouldn't work for Manners.
No, because it says whenever the investigating player has played a card that allows him to search for his deck. So tokens would not be
okay. All right. So, that is not an anti-Manners card by any stretch. So, any of you guys who were considering just a moment ago using that card is like, yeah, never mind.
Dang it.
I can't use it on Manners.
Any of us that wanted to bust out 8 CP just have to find another way. Huh?
Yeah, I would say you can just have your witness.
That False Leads card would actually be more appealing if you could use it when a player uses their token, like, because there's a lot of witnesses that allow for you to search through your deck to get a sight.
Right.
There's 4 of them specifically. Now, I would say False Leads probably would be more appealing if it was kind of more all-inclusive, in the sense like you could play it when your opponent has used a token or played a card. What do you think of that? Would that make that 8 CP cost a little bit more?
That's too much, I think.
Yeah.
It'd make it worth it against Joost, even.
Oh, perhaps. But let's say, I don't tend to use the agents that allow you to search your deck to draw a sight, which are Willis, Agent Henderson, Agent Reggie Perdue, and Agent Weiss. But if in my thinking is that, well, your opponent's going to probably use that at a point when they don't have a sight in their hand. So playing False Leads would probably allow for the sight card to get taken out of play, and then that would be the end of the round for the opponent, because there's like, well, I used that to get a sight because I didn't have one. So now, so that could make the difference in escaping without a question getting asked.
I would say that fairly costed would be like 6 for the card as it exists now, maybe 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely, because you're banking on your opponent to have a card that allows to search through a deck, which again does not include grid pattern search, which would probably be the more commonly played card that allows for searching through decks, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, we have one breath, but what other card would?
You do have street contacts also.
Street contacts, okay. I think that's probably about. Well, it would be nice to use this card like in. I would maybe consider it maybe like in a game if we're using Scully set, because that call for help card is especially So that maybe false leads might look better in that particular game, because that card can really make the difference in a round. But again, ATP is a lot.
You get a call for help which costs 4 and allows you to play the card that you search for free. But on the other hand, you do have false lead that you have to pay 8 CP for. So kind of seems imbalanced.
Yeah, definitely so. And not unlike Deep Throat compared to Deny Everything, which also costs 8 CP as well. So yeah, it does seem like the CP cards you're having to dig a little bit more into your conspiracy pool to use.
I think maybe the thinking is that you could maybe in their mind build your conspiracy pool easier. Because you can sell cards in order to increase your conspiracy pool.
Yeah, if you're selling expensive cards, you can definitely have a deep CP versus resource pool. It pretty much is what it is for the most part. There's not a ton of cards that can add a whole lot to that quickly.
Yeah. Other than hard evidence, no.
Just a few.
Well, gentlemen, I did want to ask, what do we have coming up on the horizons as far as our collective channels? What do you guys, Nathan, you being the host of Chasing the Dragon, what do you got in the works? What do you want to let the audience know to expect in the near future?
Well, it's not X-Files related necessarily, but the Lord of the Rings set dropped for Magic the Gathering. So I've been playing a lot of that, including recording a couple episodes.
Excellent. So you're currently editing one or both of them right now? Yeah.
I've got one filmed. That's two of my buddies and I cracked pre-release packs and made some decks out of that. So the video number 1 is opening, deck building, and then part 2 is the actual gameplay. So those are the 2 that are kind of in the works right now.
Excellent. And so, yes, those of you watching, if you're not already subscribed to Chasing the Dragon, definitely do so if you're interested in seeing like unboxing episodes or gameplay from various card games. David, you are the host of Studio Squim. What do you have coming up on your channel that viewers watching can expect to see?
Well, X-Files related, I've got one of my more popular formats is coming up, one of our X-Files discussions. And we're going to be talking about state of the game, talking about upcoming fan-made expansions. Season 4 is officially out there, so now we're talking about Season 5 and Blackwood. We got just the smallest taste of Blackwood with the last one, which I want to say was back in November, something like that, when we did our last state of the game discussion. So there's lots happened since then, a lot of fun stuff coming up. So that's an exciting one. Tentatively, as of this particular recording, tentatively scheduled for August. I'm going to check my calendar really quick because I just blanked out.
August 12th?
August 12th. Yeah, August 12th at 8 p.m. Central. So I definitely set that date aside. That's always a very interesting one, a fun one to see what's coming up.
Excellent. And so, with regards to the upcoming weekend, does anyone want to throw their hat in the ring for a game next weekend, whether it be on this channel or one of the other ones?
Didn't we talk about maybe doing a playtest game this next week?
We did. I don't know if we settled on Saturday at this usual time, but we can tentatively pencil that in. Definitely. We have already had one playtest for the Blackwood expansion. So that was, and it was a game we didn't. It was an interesting game. We had to stop early, so we didn't actually have a winner as a result. But we did get to see a good portion of the Blackwood set using that one. But we certainly do need a few more play tests before we want to make these cards available for people to order. So yeah, we could tentatively look at that. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, did you have any other parameters you wanted to throw in for the playtest?
No, just know if we can use season 4 cards, or at least season 4 agents, or if it's only commercial or just that, so that I can know which team to build.
Yeah, I would say using agents from the other expansions is definitely fine, because it would be interesting to see how they marry with some of our other fan-made expansions.
Yeah,
and make sure they all play well together. Yeah.
And cards as well in the deck, or can you include any card in the deck?
Yeah, potentially. Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, thinking about it. I was like, oh gosh, we could see some cancer cards and gulag cards thrown in.
Well, I think
it could be.
Well, at least when I build a playtest deck, I'm mostly going to be playing with the Blackwood cards. But then maybe if I want to say, okay, if I'm saying with that team, that particular card from season 4 is good. Like you do have the one that I forget the title, but if your team is good on sciences, you can have that sciences 4+ skill check, and you can add to your.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's an easy, or the death card. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'll probably throw a death card in there for sure. Because I'm been eager to use those since we last used season 4 cards, because that was a very exciting game. So I do want to try some more of those. So yeah, I'm down for that. So I'm glad we worked this out now, because this is going to take a little bit longer to build a deck like this, because it's a playtest deck for one thing. So some of these cards, I haven't quite got all these card effects in my head from this 55 or I forget how many cards are in this playtest deck at this moment.
And there are some cards that there are 2 copies of, but the text is not the same. So which when you're using, like for instance with your game, Mike, which card did you use?
The combat card? Are you referring to, or what?
I think there are like for instance, I think I have 2 government ambulance, and the text is different. So I'm not sure which one is correct.
I might have to. I may not have noticed that during that last playtest, but let me see if I. And they were both events. One wasn't like a bluff, wasn't it?
Bluffs.
Oh, they were bluffs. Okay.
Yes. I have a bluff, and I also have an event that is titled Government Ambulance. Right. So not sure which one is correct.
Yeah, I don't remember which one now. But I think that's going to be one that we will have to, decide in the course of playtesting which one we think is more effective.
Okay, so we can just say we include whatever we want, and then we decide during playtest if it makes sense or not.
Really?
Well, so far I only pulled the bluff, or I'm sorry, not the bluff, the event. I'm still looking for the bluff just to verify that is. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yep, there it is. So.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. But the effect is noticeably different. Yeah, that is a stark difference in those 2 effects. I know the event card was the one that I think 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, you and I worked together to come up with, because that's the escort effect.
Yes, we wanted to use that agent from the Scully set to.
Well, I guess it'll be a question for Mike to address with if we want to decide which of the 2 effects we would most like to see, and it's something that maybe we could use the effect somewhere else. But obviously one of these will have to get changed. But I think it makes more appropriate. I feel like for this, the escort effect being it affects an agent on their way to the hospital. I mean, this is a perfect scene.
Yes.
For this. Yeah, so, I would say this. Oh, go ahead, David.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say, yeah, I would think if you were asking me to vote, I would be like, yeah, I would want to use the event card. Not, I'm a little biased in that, but I do think the escort effect is something that addresses a card in the Scully set that otherwise is not going to be an applicable agent effect unless we have cards like these.
Yeah, that is correct.
Brian Fuller, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Speaking of
Yes.
Mike, I think another cool thing about this box opening is it's given me some ideas about the format for David and Mike's upcoming game.
That's exactly where I was going to take the conversation when Mike's name came up and we're on the topic of future episodes. Nathan, you won the pleasure of choosing the parameters of mine and Mike's game that has yet to be put on the calendar. We're waiting for those parameters. So I'm curious, any spoilers? What's going on?
Well, just I've been kind of brainstorming while we've been talking here, and I think one of the things that I really like out of the 1013 set, there are a lot of rares that I think are kind of weird and kind of cool and don't ever see play. So I think perhaps I'll give you guys a list of maybe like, I don't know, 15 rares and say your deck has to include at least 5 from this list.
Okay.
And see where you take it. And it would be like, you know, you can include 1 or 2 copies. It only counts as one on you know, 1 check mark. So you have to include 5 of those cards in any quantity. But yeah, that's like, you know, like Tong Lottery Jar. Like nobody ever plays that. You know, like let's see it. So,
there's a reason no one plays that.
Yeah, I know, but I want to see some wacky stuff.
Or we'll see Mostow sketches and Amaru Urn. And...
Oh, I won't make you do Mostow sketches. No.
Interesting.
Is that
I might be up
Mostow
for
sketches
doing
is the crazy insanity? Yeah. Agents attacking each other or something like So I won't make you do that, but there are like plenty of other ones from this set that I think are kind of neat.
I think once Mike and David have played that game, I'm gonna try. I would like to try that out with under those conditions as well.
Oh, sweet!
So,
we can. So I'll give them criteria. They can give us criteria, and we can play a 1013. Because you know me, I'm all about the weird, janky deck building.
Was it limitation breeds creativity?
Yes,
is your motto.
That is a great quote. It is especially applicable to like because we've played this game so many times, and I think finding ways to, you know, the restrictions do really make us think outside the box in terms of how we're going to deck build and how we're going to use our cards in the course of a game. So I like that. I'm up for doing that once Mike and David have had a chance to throw down with that. Which hopefully, now that you guys, Nathan, I assume once you get the list to them, at that point, David, I assume you and Mike can try to figure out a date.
Yeah, we'll figure out a date.
I will make this a priority to do in the next couple days and get you guys that list so we can get it on the calendar.
Excellent. Any parting thoughts, gentlemen, before we call it a night?
This was a lot of fun. Thank you,
Jonathan 𝐗. No more hoarding cards.
I'm gonna have to share. Yeah, we're gonna find out if it's really normally 3 or 2 ultra rares in those boxes.
Yeah,
we've got to get a definitive answer on that.
Yes, I do want to find out if you
divide
get 2 or 3. Yeah, and if you need a channel for which to broadcast your unboxings, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to give you a studio to show off what you've got in those sealed boxes. So, anything else, gentlemen? What else do we want to plug?
We would probably be remiss if we didn't plug the Mike and Matt X-Files CCG channel.
Yes, please, guys, tune into that channel if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. Of course, do that for this channel as well if you haven't already. But yes, because especially considering in about a month's time, a little bit over a month actually, Mike from Matt and Mike's X-Files CCG, along with me, we're going to be heading over to Bloomington, Minnesota for File Fest, and we will be broadcasting on our channels during that 3-day convention. So you guys do want to be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and find out what kind of shenanigans we'll be up to in Bloomington. So thanks for reminding me about that, Nathan. What else do we have? Do we want to promote anything else?
I should live stream something while I'm there. I got nothing but time. I mean,
I think you should. Yeah.
I'm not a tournament organizer, so it's just me hanging around, taking in the atmosphere and doing the panels and stuff. So
yeah, Nathan, you could broadcast, and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 and I could be color commentary.
nice. I like that.
Speaking of commentary, I do want to thank Madeline for tuning in to this, and whoever else was watching. So again, thank you guys for tuning in and lending some comments during the unboxing. So again, please subscribe and hit the like button, and of course leave a comment down below. And we'll be back next week. I think it looks like Game and I will probably be doing a game next weekend, playtesting Blackwood. So sure to tune in for that. I'll get the link to that up sometime between now and then. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you all for availing yourselves this Saturday evening to help me with moderating this unboxing. It was a lot of fun, and as Nathan said at the beginning, it's really nice to have all of us together, to have a chat about this game we love so much, because it has been a while. And so let's reconvene on the 12th, shall we? Right, David?
Yep, we'll get the gang back together. Get the band back together. That's the phrase.
All right, and with that, we'll say goodnight. And thank you again for watching. Be sure to tune in next time for another edition of Alien Investigations.